Welcome back to The Real Ish. This video right here, we're gonna dive into something else a little different than the other videos on this channel. Still very horror based and about, horror scary movies. But we're gonna talk about the Poltergeist. And the Poltergeist is considered to be like one of the scariest movies of all time. So it's pretty up there when it comes to scary movies. So in this video, we're gonna discuss the creepy real life events that took place around this Poltergeist movie, okay? I'm gonna point out a few things and we're gonna get right into this video. So if you don't know, the Poltergeist is a movie from 1982. It was directed by Tobe Hooper, and the story was by Steven Spielberg, okay? I think also produced by Steven Spielberg, if I'm not mistaken. And so if you're not familiar with the Poltergeist, here is what it is about. It says, strange and creepy happenings beset an average California family. The Freelings, Steve, Diane, teenage Dana, 8-year-old Robbie, and 5-year-old Carol Ann. When ghosts commune with them through the television set. Initially friendly and playful, the spirits turn unexpectedly menacing, and when Carol Ann goes missing, Steve and Diane turn to a parapsychologist and even an exorcist for help. So that is what the movie is about. And like I said, it was pretty popular around that time. I've seen the Poltergeist many times, and it's still a really creepy movie. I actually, kind of don't watch it as much right now because of what I'm about to get into in this video, okay? So let's just jump right into this video. So we're not gonna really touch on whether or not, this movie comes from a true story. I could say that for another video. We're gonna really just touch on what happened to some of the actors after they filmed this movie, okay? Doing some research, it says that four actors from the Poltergeist film series died within 6 years of filming, which has led to the urban legend called the Poltergeist curse. That's crazy. Crazy enough that I'm gonna read it again. 4 actors from the Poltergeist film series died within 6 years of filming. And that's what led to the Poltergeist curse. That is crazy. Alright, so I'm gonna get into the 4 actors, how they died, when they died, from filming, and then we're gonna, kind of get into the curse itself. First, let's touch on the alleged origins of the Poltergeist curse. It says, in one of the most iconic moments from the original Poltergeist, Diane Freeling falls into her unfinished swimming pool and struggles to climb herself out as rotting human remains from the cemetery her house was built upon rise out of the muddy waters and surround her. As Williams would recall it in a 40th, Williams is the person who played Diane Freeling. As Williams would recall in a 40th anniversary retrospective by Vanity Fair, it was not until after she was finished shooting the already stressful sequence when she learned that the skeletons she was sharing the pool with were real. Wow. Couldn't been me. Couldn't have been me. I'm gonna read on a little further. It says, the behind the scenes horror movie fact is certainly shocking by today's standards, but using real cadavers was usually a common practice in Hollywood at the time, considering they were cheaper to purchase than the fake ones. With, I guess they had to build and make the fake ones. However, as discussed in the docuseries Cursed Films, one of the best TV shows on Shudder, fans have theorized that real angry spirits were attached to those skeletons and would become the cause of eerie things that happened on set and after production. Wow. Okay, I'm gonna read a little further. For instance, in an episode of E! True Hollywood Story that explores the legacy of the Poltergeist curse, crew members recall facing unusual mishaps while filming 1986's Poltergeist 2. The Other Side, which continued the use of real skeletons. Craig T. Nelson, who reprises the role of Steve Freeling in the sequel, also described the episode how his co-star Will Sampson sensed that there was a malevolent presence disturbing the production and personally conducted an exorcism on set. Wow. The incredible star claims the production did not suffer any further setbacks the moment on. That is insane. There's no way that I am going to do a scene with the real skeletons. No way. That's just me. Let's get into the deaths of these actors. Okay, so the death of Dominique Dunne. It says that Dominique Dunne was murdered by her boyfriend 5 months after the 1982 film's release. Dunne played Dana, the eldest Freeling daughter. Wow. So let's read a little bit about what happened. It says Poltergeist is also remembered as the first feature-length film to star Dominique Dunne, the younger sister of Academy Award nominee Griffin Dunne, as the Freeling's oldest daughter, Dana. Unfortunately, it will be her last film, as the actor was murdered only a few months after the movie was released. As the New York Times reported in November 1982, the 22-year-old had been strangled into an unconscious state, and she was held on life support for 5 days before she passed. Dunne's former boyfriend, then 26-year-old chef John Sweeney, admitted to investigators that he was the one who choked her in response to an argument over moving back in together. The following year, Sweeney was convicted of involuntary manslaughter. Wow. That's crazy. All over an argument about moving back in together. That's insane. Okay, so I'm not sure if I'm saying her name right, but her name is Heather O'Rourke. She died at the age of 12 from complications from an acute bowel obstruction 6 years after the film's release. She played Carol Ann Freeling. Here's a little more background on what happened with her. It says, easily the most memorable character of the Poltergeist franchise is the malevolent spirit's young primary target, Carol Ann Freeling, played by Heather, O'Rourke. The child actor's promising career was sadly cut short after her doctors failed to detect a long-standing bowel obstruction that led to her death in 1988. She was 12 years old. It says she had finished shooting the third installment of the franchise, 1988's Poltergeist 3, shortly before her passing. However, the sequel's director was reluctantly forced to reshoot many of her scenes with a double, as he recalled in Cursed Films. It says in 2015, MGM released a remake of Poltergeist. The director admitted that they experienced a few on-set electrical problems, but has no tragedies associated with it. Therefore, they believe there is no, reason to suspect that any unfortunate events remotely related to this franchise are the result of the curse, and films are perfectly safe and enjoyed today if you're not too scared, that is. I don't know. To me, it's still pretty weird that 4 people had passed from this, whether or not they want to admit that that's weird or not, The next person that passed from the movie is Julian Beck. It says he died from stomach cancer at the age of 60 in 1985. He played Kane in the 1986 sequel, The Poltergeist 2, The Other Side. It said he died shortly after finishing Poltergeist 2. It says Poltergeist 2, The Other Side, a movie. It says he was a preacher, calling himself Reverend Henry Kane, which is easily the most iconic film role by Julian Beck. Unfortunately, according to the New York Times, they say his part would also mark his last big screen appearance, having passed away at the age of 60 just a few months after the sequel wrapped up in 1985. While some theorists have often considered the theater actor's death to be further evidence of the curse, the Los Angeles Times report his passing mentions that he had previously been diagnosed with stomach cancer in 1983, knowing that he was near the end of his life suffering from a painful illness while portraying Kane, the character. It just, I don't know. They don't want to really say it had anything to do with the curse, but I've never really seen a movie like this that's based off these type of events where actors just die, you know, not long after or a few years after. And the fourth person that passed from after doing these movies is Will Sampson. He died from a disease. Sampson appeared in the 1986 sequel Poltergeist to the Other Side. There's Will Sampson, who played a Native American who tries to help the Freelings named Taylor, died in June 1987 at the age of 53. According to the Herald Journal, the actor, who had previously been diagnosed with the disease, he passed 43 days after an otherwise successful lung transplant. He was suffering from malnutrition, a post-operation infection, and kidney failure of an unknown cause, and lapsed into a 10-day coma. That is the fourth person that passed away, you know, after, you know, doing these movies. It's really eerie and creepy. So this movie, you know, is already, knowing what it's about already is kind of creepy. Then you have the cast, you know, a few of them passed away, the cast. Then you have the real skeletons in the pool while filming. That's just weird. And then something says unsettling occurrences. Some crew members report experiencing unexplained technical difficulties, strange noises, and other unsettling events while on set. So, you know, it's a few things happened on set. You know, it's really weird, and you don't really know what, you know, you want to say, is there a curse? It could be. Do I believe in that? I wasn't there, but how can I say it's not real? You know, I believe it is real. I mean, these movies got to come from somewhere. So, you know, without making this video extremely long, I just wanted to touch on that and the fact that they said there is a curse regarding the Poltergeist, you know, one of the greatest, you know, older scary movies out there, you know. So as far as it being a good movie, it's just kind of weird to kind of go back and watch, knowing what we know now. It's kind of hard to watch, and, you know, experiencing and knowing the deaths and stuff that surrounded, you know, after. So I don't know, let me know what you all think about this one. And I may touch on more movies like this that have weird, you know, things happen on set or with the cast members. But please like this video, let me know what you think. If you're new, subscribe to the channel, and I thank you for watching, and I will be back with another video soon. Stay tuned, and I really appreciate you guys for checking this out, and share the video, comment, like, and subscribe. I will see you guys in the next video. God bless you all.